Ladies and gentlemen, how's everybody doing today on this wonderful Wednesday? So I'm here today with Dr. Stephen Schwarts. He's a visionary thought leader in the world of sound healing and a published author. So Stephen, why don't you tell the audience, how did you get into the whole sound healing journey? Where did it start from? What triggered that journey? It sounds quite fascinating.
Thank you. It's a pretty amazing story, actually.
Okay.
I'm a chiropractor by license.
Oh, really?
And I was living in Denver, Colorado.
Uh-huh.
And I ended up falling into this whole thing about working with chronic degenerative conditions, allergies, and autoimmune diseases, using all energy work. I actually ran a last resort clinic in Denver, Colorado for 16 years, from 2000 until 2016, until I moved here to California. And in 2007, I was already, good 7 years into my practice, and I was getting ready to open up a big center, and I was bringing in associates and things like this. And at the time, I was using these little energy vials that I would put into people's fields, and we would be able to reprogram their neurology just by using these little energetic signatures. And I said to myself, what if we can create a new delivery system? What if we could create something new? And I said, what if I used an audio file instead of an energetic signature to expose to the body and reprogram the body? And so I created this cat experiment. My friend had a very severe cat allergy, and I went into his recording studio and used Ableton software, which I'd never used before, and we put together this whole protocol, and I treated him for his very severe cat allergy. And 4 visits later, his cat allergy was completely eliminated.
Wow.
And that was the beginning of my music company, Bioharmonic Technologies.
Okay, so that sounds very interesting. So for those people who are not quite familiar with the concept about which we're talking about, how exactly did you treat his cat allergy? I mean, what did the sessions include? What did the treatment include? Well,
I think in terms of that, there was multiple techniques that I've used over the years, and the number one thing about myself is I'm a formulator. I'm a system formulator. I see people. I see them physically and interdimensionally, basically.
Wow.
And so, and I understand pathology, pathophysiology, and biology, neurology. I just see it all. So I can put things together. So in terms of the specific technique of how I did that particular experiment, I'm not even really using that kind of work now. But what did come out of that is a very specific formulation process that I utilize for just as if you were going to be formulating a homeopathic remedy or some kind of herbal concoction or something like that. Okay. I was able to put together a formulation process that combines different frequencies for shifting and influencing physiology in a variety of different ways. And I have 7 albums and 42 different tracks.
Wow.
And all of them have this very specific formulation process. Even though the frequencies and everything I use change within it, that foundational recipe is what I always use.
Wow. That's amazing. My mind I'm blown away. I forgot what was my next question. So you've also invented the sound healing device. So let's talk about that. Let's dive into that. So how did that occur, and how does it work exactly? How can people experience that and potentially get access to it?
So there's a technology that I developed. It's called the Vibroacoustic Sound Lounge. And once again, so I told you in 2007 I had this whole cat allergy experiment that we did, and that launched my music company in 2007. And in 2009, I had 2 albums out, and I was just saying to myself, I know that formulation process. I'm putting in specific math that is connecting with the connective tissue of your body.
Okay.
It's like a specific neurological imprint. And instead of having music travel through air, I wanted a delivery system that could vibrate the mathematics directly into your connective tissue. And so I had this vision of this thing, what I was calling a healing pod at the time, and it was this sound, light, and frequency and vibration technology that would be able to vibrate frequencies into your body. And that was where the idea came from back in 2009. Not until 2012 did I actually find that I was introduced to a technology called vibroacoustic therapy and vibroacoustic music. I didn't know that was even a thing. So apparently I was making vibroacoustic music without even knowing I was making vibroacoustic music. And then in 2016, when I moved to California, I had the opportunity to begin to create my own vibroacoustic sound lounge, and my company, Holistic Health Science.
Okay.
I co-founded that with my business partner, and now we are launching this vibroacoustic, what I call the vibroacoustic evolution revolution. And I'm here in Los Angeles, really ground zero of where we're going to launch this thing, not just through North America, but globally. Because at the end of the day, when we can lay in a field of harmonic resonance, period, only good things happen.
Oh, absolutely.
And through that, the more nodes of vibrational resonance that we plant on this planet of ours, we raise the vibration of the planet. And that's what I'm all about. And that's what we're all about with Holistic Health Science and Bioharmonic Technologies. So our hashtag is #We All Vibe Together.
I love it. I love that. So let's go back a little bit. How did you get into whole energy healing field? Because obviously it started with something.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't we talk about that a little bit?
Well, so my whole background is in sports medicine. I remember, I was like a student athletic trainer when I was in high school. And I remember my mother's like, "What are you going to do when you grow up?" And I was like, "I don't know." She's like, "Well, what do you like to do?" So I ended up going to college for sports medicine. And I really, I like sports and working with body. And then I found out about chiropractic. And I was like, wow, this sounds perfect. And I really resonated with becoming a chiropractor. And everything I did all through chiropractic school was about sports chiropractic. And I brought like Olympic athletes to my school and all that. And when I moved to Colorado, my intention was to work with Olympic athletes, was my intention to work with snowboarders, extreme sport athletes. And that was really what I was moving there with my intention, thing I was doing. But interestingly enough, I actually had my spiritual awakening happen when I moved to Colorado in 2000. I moved there in 1999, and within 1 year's time, I got a job in a clinic with a woman that was doing kinesiology, muscle reflex testing, and treating all kinds of things. And my mother had an autoimmune disease. And I was watching her degenerate over the years, basically since I was in chiropractic school. And she came out and visited this doctor, and for the first time she actually started getting better. And she said, this doctor's like, you should go learn this. And I came to San Diego for the first time back in 2000, and I remember learning this technique. I don't know if it's even around anymore. It's called Jaffe-Mahler technique. First time I ever muscle tested, first time I ever really did any kind of significant energy work. And I just knew after that weekend, I knew that I was going back to Denver, and I said to myself, my life is never going to be the same. And I literally started a whole new chapter in my life. And I went from, and I still love sports, and I still feel that, like my book is called Primal Resonance, Discover the Secrets to Health, Vitality, and Optimal Human Performance. Sports medicine is all about optimal human performance. However, we live in a world where people aren't even optimally performing at all. They're less than that. They're not even, they're barely surviving.
Yes.
So working with chronic illness, it's like the other end of the spectrum. It's like, how do we get people from just being in survival mode into thrival mode?
Oh, absolutely.
And then get you into optimal human performance mode. And so the journey's actually never changed. I think it's just been my entry point. So now, I love working with high-level athletes, actors, actresses, really high professional corporate people, but then moms and dads and children and people with learning disability. Because at the end of the day, whatever you are doing in your life, you're striving for optimal human performance.
Oh, absolutely.
So you're a professional, whatever. Professional mom, professional accountant, professional bird rider, professional whatever you are. whatever you are doing in your life, you're a professional doing it. And my intention is that you do it happily, healthfully, and at the highest performance level that you want to do.
Absolutely.
And the best way of doing that is to access your neurology and clear cellular memory, balance the body, and reduce inflammation. And the best way of doing it is using sound, light, frequency, and vibration. And these are the applied sciences of that. And that's what I discuss in my book, Primal Resonance.
Amazing. So as far as the sound healing device, how does it work exactly? So, what does it look like and how does it work? Just explaining in more simple terms for people who are not familiar with it and who have not experienced it.
So there's actually, interestingly enough, the device itself is actually not a sound healing device. Holistic health science makes cutting edge, advanced music performance technologies. It's kind of what I call it's virtual reality for your cells. There's a concept that I refer to that I coined it's called full body neurological entrainment.
Okay.
Another, that's kind of a fancy term for the more regular term would be body hypnosis. And when you lay in a field of harmonic vibration, your body becomes entrained and it induces a place of parasympathetic response. So essentially the sound lounge is a vibrating bed. You lay on it and it vibrates. And you can play any music you want through it. You can plug in live instruments to it. You can plug it into DJ booths and you can listen to that if you want.
Wow.
Because of my background and my intention, I focus more in the sound healing area. I mean, I wanted to make a delivery system for accessing the nervous system of the body. So my music company, Bioharmonic Technologies, which I'm the president of and the co-founder of Holistic Health Science, I created a delivery system for receiving music at the highest possible level that can be exposed to the masses. So just picture laying in a field of your favorite music and having it completely envelop you through a vibrational component. That's what the Sound Lounge is all about.
That sounds amazing. And I got to experience that actually the first time I have met Dr. Schwartz and I have met I believe it was Best You Expo, and you were one of the vendors there, and I got to experience it, and then I was truly fascinated with the device, and then we connected, and Dr. Steven ended up becoming a part of my inner circle. I have my cosmic brothers and sisters, so to speak, and we're forming a huge conscious community where we're on the same journey of basically healing the planet and raising frequency, and that's what we have in common. So that's how we connected, and it's truly fascinating. It was actually quite an experience. I gotta tell you, just gotta experience for yourself. Until you experience for yourself, you will not be able to connect to exactly what I'm talking about. Right now, it just sounds like, what is she talking about?
Well, I think what's interesting about putting people on this technology is people get it. They just don't know that it actually exists. Like when I tell people that I create these advanced music protocols that will vibrate your favorite music into your body, or that we create this delivery system for your nervous system to relax and then release shock and trauma. Like, oh, that exists? I want that. Because everybody, look at the world for which we live. We live in a high-stress, high-paced world where people just really need to and want to relax.
Absolutely.
And I'm creating a platform for the world to receive that. And so yeah, that's what we're up to.
Okay. So that sounds amazing, and thank you for sharing. And I guess one of my last questions would be what's exciting, what's going on right now, any new upcoming projects coming up? I'm sure there are a bunch that you would like to share with the audience that you're particularly excited about and looking forward to.
Thank you, Anna. Yeah, there's it's been such an amazing journey. I mean, people always ask me, "Oh, you're a musician?" And I say no, and then all my fans say, "You are a musician. You have 7 albums." So yes, I'm a musician. But I feel like more than that, I'm a formulator. And I'm wanting to not just have you experience this on a one-on-one basis, but I want to play harmonic resonant music for the whole planet. So I've been invited to do a lot of live sound events. I create these things called live soundscape journeys.
Wow.
And so picture laying on the Sound Lounge, and what I do is I take all the produced music and I kind of strip that away, and then I just expose you to just the underlying harmonic resonant frequencies. And we build it almost in like a guided meditation where I'm kind of educating you into like, this frequency sounds like this, and this frequency is for that. So you get a chance to hear them isolated, and we create this field of harmonic resonance for a specific intention. Like I just did one last week with the intention of purifying and cleansing the ocean.
Wow!
And I created
huge.
Custom music with this woman. Actually, I'll give her a plug. Laura Wright, and she's Low Tide
What's
Aliens.
What's the name again?
Laura Wright.
Laura Wright. Okay.
Low Tide Aliens, and they make essentially these sand mandalas on the beach, really beautiful. So we teamed up And she said, "Well, can we make a custom sonic sand mandala with a specific intention?"
Wow.
And so I have that on my Instagram page and my Facebook page. But some of the things I'm working on next is what I call my Schwarts 3.0 era of integrating.
Great name.
Integrating instruments. I play the didgeridoo and other world instruments, and integrating harmonic resonant frequencies in a live setting that we can play to the masses. So I have some events of those coming up. I've just got a new deal with a new producer here in Los Angeles. I'm not sure if we're allowed to disclose this yet, but he is a world pop producer of electronic music.
Wow.
And
congratulations, that's huge.
Well, thank you. But what's interesting about it is he had this epiphany. A dear friend of mine, he started working with her, and she introduced him to like crystal bowls and things like that. And then she's like, "Oh, this is like sound healing." And he's like, "I don't know anything about sound healing." She's like, "You need to meet Dr. Schwarts." And so we met together, and he wants me to create my formulation process to be embedded into world electronic music. So we just cut our first song, our first track together last Thursday.
That's huge.
And we're going to start kind of getting that out through the channels and making more music. Because I play my music, and he likes my music, but he analyzes what the world likes, what millions and millions of people listen to and groove to. And so he's like, let's access that group and then imbibe high vibration therapeutic music into it. And that's ultimately what I've always wanted.
Amazing.
And then we can make that, and then you're having the global experience, but then you have an opportunity to chunk that down into an individual experience on your sound lounge. And bioharmonic technologies on the second half of this year is not just going to be creating music, but also creating a global platform for other high conscious musicians to bring their contribution to this platform, and they can make high vibration vibroacoustic music and then share it with our ever growing community.
Amazing.
And because at the end of the day, we are vibration.
Oh, absolutely.
And we're vibration
first. We are
first.
energy. Everything is energy. We're energy in this body.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
how our cells communicate and how our cells replicate, when we break that down to lowest common denominator, what that is a place of vibrational interaction with our environment. Absolutely. Our external internal environment. So all I'm doing is creating a situation that allows for that external environment that is interacting with our internal environment to be blasted with harmonic resonant music.
Amazing.
And that will release only positive chemical cascades that make us happy and abundant.
Amazing. I love it. Well, Steven, I really truly think what you're doing is beautiful, and it's impacting so many people, and you just keep on, all this project just keep on coming and coming, and it's truly, truly fascinating and amazing, and thank you so much. I'm grateful for our connection, grateful to have you in my inner circle, and thank you for spreading your knowledge and all this information, sharing that with the audience. And I guess my last question would be, how can people find you? What's the best way to get a hold of you? And if people are interested in what you do, perhaps there's could be potential collaboration or partnership. What would be the best way to get a hold of you?
The best way to get in touch with me is through my music website is www.bioharmonictechnologies.com. That's where you can find all music. And then www.holistic health science is my technology website where we have where we sell the Vibroacoustic sound lounges. And then also my third website, www.drstevenschwarts.com. That's where you can find information about my book, Primal Resonance: Discover the Secrets to Health, Vitality, and Optimal Human Performance. It's the doctrine to the new earth. It talks about the top 10 lists on how to reverse aging and degeneration using sound, light, and frequency technologies, and the new epidemic in America, chronic systemic inflammation. And then you can find me on all of social media channels, Steven Schwarts, through Facebook and Instagram. I'm Dr. Steven Schwarts, DC. And Holistic Health Science is Sound Light Freak, like frequency, FREQ. And let's see, is there anything else? I think those are all my contact informations. And I'd love to stay in touch with all of you, because together we raise the vibration of the planet together.
Absolutely. Well, thank you again. Thank you, Steven, for your time, and thank you for sharing the message, and have an amazing rest of your day. Love and light, everybody. Thank you for listening.